Your driver suddenly hit the brakes, causing both you and your mother to jolt forward. Your mother immediately started yelling at the driver, something you couldn't hear because of your headphones, which you quickly pulled off. What happened? You asked, clearly frustrated. Ma'am, there is a car in front of us, he replied, trying to defend himself. You looked ahead only to grow even more irritated when you recognized the car. It was the Johns. You quickly turned toward your mother, but she was already stepping out of the car. Mama, no. You tried to stop her, but it was too late. She was already standing in front of the Johns' car, demanding they come out. You sighed, already knowing what was about to happen. You and the Johns were neighbors. Your house is connected by a single road leading to the main road. But since childhood, your mothers had despised each other. They could turn anything into a fight, and just like you expected, this was going to be about who would reverse their car to let the other pass. Your thoughts broke when you heard shouting. You looked up to see Mrs. John stepping out of her car as well, but she wasn't alone. Her annoyingly arrogant son stepped out beside her. Your anger flared instantly as you got out of the car, too. How about you just stay in your house forever? Your presence disgusts me. Her words made your mother's anger spike. Look who's talking. How about you take your annoying self back into your house? Your whole presence makes me puke. Your jaw dropped at your mother's words. Your language reflects your standards. After all, you could never be as classy as my family, like Jungkook. She looked at her son, clearly expecting him to add something. Of course, Mom, not everyone can be as prestigious as us. He said it while looking straight at you, mockery dripping from his tone. Your blood boiled. Oh, look who's talking. The man who's as cheap as garbage. You shot back, making him glare at you. Oh, seems like you know a lot about garbage. After all, people always recognize where they belong. He replied, trying to rile you up. You freaking John Jungkook? You yelled, stepping toward him. Shut up. A loud voice cut through the chaos, making all of you turn at once. Standing there were your fathers, both of them. Unlike your mothers, they were best friends. What the hell is happening here? He asked, his voice sharp with anger, instantly silencing everyone. Why, Jungkook, your mothers may not understand, but that doesn't mean you too have to become like them. Your father said, clearly aware of what was going on. Don't tell me this is about who's going to reverse their car to let the other pass. And just like that, he guessed it right. Mr. Kim sighed, pulling out a coin. You all already knew what was coming. Heads or tails? He asked, looking between you and Jungkook. Heads. You both answered at the same time, immediately glaring at each other. Mr. John let out a frustrated sigh. Jungkook let Ryan choose. Ladies first. Mr. John said firmly, making Jungkook cough. You shot Jungkook a teasing look, which only seemed to irritate him further. Mr. Kim tossed the coin into the air. It landed tails. Even God knows who's better. He said with a smirk, looking at you mockingly. Your frustration spiked, and just like that, it was your car that had to reverse, letting theirs pass first. You walked into the club where your friends were already waiting for you. Hey, Ryan, here. She shouted, waving her hands excitedly. You walked toward them and took a seat. So, what are we doing today? You asked, clearly excited. How about we grab some drinks first and then we'll dance? She suggested eagerly. Meena, I'm not planning to drink. You know, when I get drunk, I don't remember anything. You quickly refused, well aware of your low tolerance. Come on, Ryan, you're not a kid. She whined. Of course she is. A voice came from behind, making all of you turn. Jungkook stood there with his friends. They walked over and took seats without asking. Jungkook deliberately sat next to you. Go on, tell them. You are just an annoying brat after all. He said with a smirk. Oh, look who's talking. If I remember correctly, someone couldn't even find his way home after a few drinks. You reminded him of the night you had to take him home when he was drunk. At least I'm better than you, he mocked. You are not. I'm better than you in everything. You shot back. You are a loser in front of me, he replied, making your anger spike. Who are you calling a loser, you idiot? Your hands were inches away from grabbing his hair. Shut up. Alex snapped loudly, making both of you turn to him. Stop fighting over every little thing. Grow up, you are not kids anymore. He said in frustration, making you both quiet down. How about we do a drinking competition? She suggested excitedly, making both of you look at each other. Yeah, that will be fun. Tell me, are you guys ready or are you scared? She teased, provoking both of you. We are ready. You both spoke at the same time again. The competition began. Neither of you was ready to lose. Your friends joined in, but you and Jungkook kept going, drink after drink. One by one, everyone else started passing out. That was the last thing you remembered. Until you open your eyes, finding yourself in a private room of the club, completely naked, lying beside someone whose face you couldn't see. Don't tell me I lost my virginity to some stranger. You mumbled, panic rising within you. With trembling hands, you pulled the blanket away from the man's face, only to freeze in shock when you saw Jungkook lying there. Your mind went completely blank. No, no, don't tell me. This can't happen. How could I do that? You didn't even know what you were feeling anger, frustration, or pure shock. Your eyes moved to him, sleeping peacefully as if nothing had happened, and that only made your blood boil. You idiot, how can you sleep like that after ruining my peace? You kicked him hard, making him fall off the bed, while you quickly wrapped the blanket tightly around yourself. What the hell? What happened? He said, clearly confused. Shut up, you idiot. You snapped, drawing his attention to you. What the hell are you doing here like that? And wait, am I naked? Where the hell are my clothes? He exclaimed, quickly trying to cover himself. You? Did you take advantage of me? He accused, making you scoff in disbelief. Shut up. You were the one who took my virginity and now you're blaming me. You shot back, frustration evident in your voice. But I don't remember anything. So do I. I don't remember anything either. A heavy silence filled the room for a few moments. So we slept with each other after getting drunk? He asked, and you slowly nodded. What the hell are we going to tell our mothers? He asked, panic creeping into his voice. Nothing. We are not telling this to anyone. You said firmly. Yeah, you're right. Let's not tell anyone after all. How could I ever be in a relationship with you? His words instantly irritated you. That's my concern, idiot. Even if you were the last man on earth, nothing would ever happen between us. For once, I agree with you. So, deal? This stays between us, he said, extending his hand. Deal, you replied, giving him a high five. 2 weeks passed. You were sitting in your office, casually eating cake with ketchup, while your friends stared at you in pure disgust. What? You asked, noticing how they kept staring at you. That should be our question. What happened to you? Why the hell are you eating this? She pointed at your plate in disbelief. I was craving this. You replied calmly. even adding chili sauce on top, making your friends turn their heads away in horror. Last time I saw you eating cupcakes with salt, and now this. Are you seriously okay? She asked, clearly worried. I'm just. I'm fine. I'm just craving weird things. You said, continuing to eat. Are you pregnant, Ryan? Era's question made you freeze. Your eyes widened as you slowly stood up from your seat. Yeah, she's actually behaving like that, she added, backing Era up while staring at you. Pregnant? You whispered, your mind suddenly flashing back to that night, your one night stand with Jungkook. Your heartbeat started racing, everything around you blurred, and the next moment, you collapsed. You slowly open your eyes, looking around as your friends stare at you in shock. Don't tell me. It's what I'm thinking. You asked, your voice trembling. You didn't want to hear it, but you already knew. You are pregnant, Ryan. She said softly, confirming your worst fear. I don't even understand. Last time I checked, you were a virgin. And now this, don't tell me it was a one night stand with some stranger. How you wished it were just that, because a stranger would have been far easier to deal with than this. That's not fair. She's stuck in this situation, and that guy is probably just chilling somewhere. Yes, that wasn't fair. He couldn't just relax after turning your life upside down. You stood up abruptly, grabbing your phone and purse. Hey, where are you going? She asked, startled, to snatch the piece of that stranger. You replied, already heading out. Wait, if she knows him, then how is he a stranger? Shut up and follow her. She snapped, and both of them rushed after you. You stormed into John Jungkook's cabin, finding him casually playing cards, completely at peace. Your peace. The loud bang of the door made everyone look up in shock. Whoa, what are you doing here? He asked, clearly not expecting you. I'm here to cut off the thing your friend has that's making my life hell. You said, glaring at Jungkook, who instantly covered himself defensively. You freaking Jungkook? You pulled off your slipper and chased at him. He ran, but not fast enough. For the next 15 minutes, you chased him around, hitting him with your slipper and pulling his hair until he looked completely defeated. What did I do? Ah, leave me. He shouted, trying to free himself from your grip. What did you do? You freaking made me pregnant. Your scream echoed through the room, leaving everyone stunned, including him. A few minutes later, all of you were seated. Your friends looked completely frustrated, already aware of what had happened. Jungkook kept glancing at you, unsure how to react. I can't believe this. First, you two sleep together, and now you're pregnant. Wyan, you know your mother will never accept this, she said, running her hands through her hair in frustration. How did this even happen? She asked, looking at Jungkook. I, I don't remember anything. He replied, avoiding your gaze as you glared at him. Guys, how it happened doesn't matter. What matters is, what are we going to do now? I want to eat tteokbokki, you said suddenly, making everyone stare at you in disbelief. Seriously, Ryan? Can't help it. The baby in my tummy wants to eat it. You replied innocently. Everyone shook their heads. Okay, anything else? His voice surprised everyone. Some ice cream too. You said a little excited. Done. He immediately ordered it online. Why are you all looking at me like that? The baby wants it. He said casually, glancing at his friends. I think it was a mistake, maybe you should abort it. He suggested, carefully making both of you look at him in shock. Hey, no. No matter how this happened, it's still our baby. Jungkook said firmly, rejecting the idea. What do you think, Ryan? He asked, turning to you. I know we didn't plan this, but I don't want to abort. You said softly, looking at Jungkook. He seemed tense, waiting for your answer. Then we'll have to tell both your families, Alex said. And just like that, both of you fell silent, already imagining the chaos that was about to come. The atmosphere in the living room was suffocating. Both families sat facing each other, tension thick in the air. You stood beside Jungkook, your hands clenched tightly, while he looked just as uneasy. Now, tell us what was so important that both families had to gather like this. You and Jungkook exchanged a glance. Your heartbeat raced. I, we, your voice trembled. Jungkook took a deep breath. She's pregnant. Silence, that heavy, shocking silence. Your mothers froze, their expressions turning pale before. What? What did you just say? Both of them stood up at the same time, their voices echoing through the house. This is all your son's fault. I always knew he was nothing but trouble. Excuse me, your daughter trapped my son. Look at her, no shame at all. Watch your words. Then control your daughter. Within seconds, the room turned into chaos as both mothers started shouting and blaming each other's children. Enough! Stop it, both of you. Their voices were firm and commanding, instantly silencing the room. Your fathers exchanged a serious glance before looking back at you and Jungkook. Ryan, Jungkook, tell us one thing clearly. Do you both want this child? The question hung heavily in the air. You looked at Jungkook, he looked at you, and slowly you nodded. Yes, we want the baby. Jungkook followed, his voice steady. Yes. Your fathers observed both of you carefully. And what about your relationship? You hesitated. We are not sure about that. Jungkook nodded in agreement. A brief silence followed before Mr. John leaned back slightly thinking. Then there's only one solution. Everyone turned to him. You both will get married. Both of you froze. What? That's impossible. Ignoring them, he continued calmly. A contract marriage. 2 years. The room fell silent again. 2 years is enough time for both of you to understand your feelings, your responsibilities, and each other. He looked directly at you and Jungkook. After 2 years, if you still don't want to be together, you'll sign the divorce papers and walk away. He took a pause. But if you do, then you stay together for life. I refuse. My daughter will not be forced into something like this. Your mother said, standing up. Neither will my son, Mrs. Jones said. Enough. Your father spoke. His tone was sharp, shutting them both up instantly. This is not just about them anymore. There's a child involved. Silence returned. Your father looked at you gently. Ryan, this decision is yours. Then Mr. John turned to Jungkook. And yours. Your heart pounded as you looked at Jungkook again. This time the decision felt heavier after a few seconds. I agree. Jungkook inhaled deeply before nodding. I agree too. And just like that, your lives changed forever. You both got married and started living together. Though your mothers still hated each other, and so did you at first, but slowly things began to change. Jungkook grew more mature, always making sure you never felt alone. Whether it was your late night cravings, back pain, doctor visits, food massages, medicines, or meals, he was always there, taking care of everything without fail. Soon you both welcomed a beautiful baby boy, Jameson. It wasn't easy, but Jungkook never left your side, staying awake with you through sleepless nights, helping you care for your child. Somewhere in those moments you began to like him, maybe even more. But since he never said anything, you were left unsure of what the future held. And just like that, time flew by, bringing you both back to where it all started. Sitting between your families once again, your son in your arms, as you prepare to decide your future. The room was heavy with tension as both families sat together again. The contract is over. It's time to divorce. This marriage was never meant to last. Mrs. Jones said. You held Jameson closer, your heart tightened. Enough, let them decide. This is their life. All eyes turned to you and Jungkook. Jungkook took a deep breath. I don't want this to end, but I will do whatever you decide. Before you could react, he suddenly went down on one knee in front of everyone. I don't want a contract anymore. I want you forever. Will you stay? Tears filled your eyes as you nodded. Yes, your father smiled, relieved and happy. But your mother stood up in anger. You are making a mistake. This won't last. That was it. Enough. Your hatred ends here. We won't let it ruin their lives anymore. Your mother's insulted walked out without another word. Your father stepped forward, blessing both of you before leaving as well. Left alone, Jungkook pulled you and Jameson into a warm embrace. You know, it's not going to be easy. You said softly, hugging him back. I know, but we'll handle everything together. Forever.